Hi everyone. We'll wait for the next 1 minute before we start, so that if other people who are in the process of joining, they can also join. Just give us a minute. We'll go live with that. Hi everyone. Good evening. We are just waiting for others to join. Just give us another 1 minute. We'll start with our program. A very good evening to all of you. Let me begin by saying Happy New Year to all of you, and I hope 2021 has begun on a great note for each and every one. I'm Pratik Raj. I'll be your host for today, and I'm super excited to be back here with the third edition of Flipkart Girls Wanna Code, which is aimed at encouraging and upskilling women tech talent in India. Today, we have with us an esteemed panel of speakers who will be sharing their thoughts and experiences and hopefully be able to answer all your queries as well. We'll also have some exciting quizzes for the audience where you can win Flipkart EGVs. Without further ado, I would like to introduce today's speakers. We have with us Ravish Sinha, who is a Senior Vice President for the Shopping Experience Tech Cluster at Flipkart. We have Kapil Vardhan with us, who is a Senior Director and HR Head for the One Tech vertical at Flipkart. We have with us Isha Mishra, who is the Lead HR for User Acquisition and Retention Group. And finally, we have Ria Bansal, who was herself a GWC scholar from the second edition of Girls Wanna Code, and currently she is working with Flipkart in the role of a software developer. To begin the session, I would like to invite Ravish for setting the tone for the launch. Over to you, Ravish.
Thanks a lot. Extremely excited to be part of this journey, right? And let's get started. Pratik, you want to pull up the survey results, the word cloud. Yeah. So I was going through this word cloud, and it's so encouraging and so amazing to see what you guys have to say about this whole journey, right? Words like women, opportunity, empowerment, technology, platforms, and these are extremely powerful words. So let me start with with what Flipkart stands for, right? uh, and a lot of you guys would have seen Flipkart from the sidelines, and I'm sure that uh, you would want to be part of this journey. We would absolutely would love to have you guys be part of the journey, right? But let me talk about Flipkart has always been at the forefront, right, of driving innovation in context of specifically the Indian ecosystem. And if you look at e-commerce, we pride ourselves on shaping both consumer and seller behavior in India. And the success story has largely been powered by a very strong 2000 plus technology team at Flipkart. We take absolute pride in being one of the most sought after tech organizations in the world. And therefore, it is important for us, extremely important for us to empower and build a powerful tech ecosystem in India. The another thing which is very important for Flipkart, right? And I would tend to believe the overall tech ecosystem in India is having an entrepreneurial mindset. And Flipkart has championed it from day one, right? We believe that entrepreneurial thinking and a strong problem solving mindset will be key to solving for India, specifically in the next decade. E-commerce today, if you see, is still in very nascent stages in India, and consumer patterns are rapidly changing as more and more users are coming onto this platform. Specifically, if you look at the next 100 million users coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities, right? Their involvement with e-commerce or involvement with technology, right, is very, very minimal. So solving problems like language barriers, trust barriers, and is extremely critical for us to ease these customers on their e-commerce journey. Coming to this particular journey, right, about GWC and why it is critical, right? I think it goes beyond saying, right, it's proven through multiple research that diverse workforces enables efficient organizations, better decision making, and better ideations. And these are all critical traits for any organization to succeed. Women in STEM, I believe, is a huge, huge opportunity for us in this space. And at Flipkart, we believe promoting women tech talent in India is not only critical, but being the front face of technology powerhouse in India, we believe it's our responsibility to make sure that this journey towards making Flipkart India tech a powerhouse in the world, that's very, very critical for us. Inclusion and diversity cannot be restricted to a dialogue, right? And every organization, I believe, must create programs that actively caters to growing this charter. We, through a meaningful mentorship program, we are seeking to empower the next generation of women in tech. We remain very invested in not only enhancing the representation of women across our organization, but the industry at large. I hope through this program, we are able to add value to each of you as you look forward to stepping into this industry. With that, I will hand it over to my colleague Kapil, who will talk about the journey so far, right? We have been in the journey for 2 years. This is the third edition. And I think there is a lot to introspect. There was a lot of learnings for us also, right? Obviously, a lot of win. And I'm sure that there is some value we were able to add back to the community. And Kapil will help us go through that journey. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravish. Thank you for sharing your insights on Flipkart's Girls Wanna Code program and overall how do we wanna bring it up to scale. I now at this point of time I would like to invite Kapil Vardhan, who is the head HR for One Tech vertical at Flipkart, on screen to share a few words about the program, how it has evolved over the years.
Hey, thanks, Pradeek. Am I audible? Just a quick check. Yep. Okay, thanks. Hey, thanks, Pradeek. It's really a privilege to be talking in this forum. First things first, wish all of you a very happy new year. I think we're still in January, so it's perfectly fine to do that. I know 2020 has been a difficult year for many, many of us, and I really do hope you and your families are keeping safe and wish you a fantastic year ahead. Coming into the agenda of Girls Wanna Code, just to kind of take you back the memory lane and how this actually took shape as an initiative, which we are extremely, extremely proud of today. So as Ravish mentioned, at Flipkart, we really are passionate about empowering the next generation of women in tech. We started Girls Wanna Code back in 2018, fundamentally as a simpler 30-day hackathon, spread out in approximately 5 institutes, with really an aim to make sure that we are able to provide India's talented women engineers a platform to showcase their skills in front of some of the best minds in the world of tech. Today, Girls Wanna Code has actually evolved into a 4-month learning journey where students from 14 plus campuses actually get to learn key technical skills from Flipkart's experienced mentors and engineers and product leaders who've been with us for a fairly long period of time. So talking a little more about this evolution, which I really think many of us are very, very proud of. So with Girls Wanna Code, our objective really has been to maximize the benefits that we can deliver to the India's to this talented ecosystem of women engineers in the country. We also were very clear that we wanted to maximize the reach of the program by continuously adding colleges and making sure that a larger number year after year can actually continue to benefit from the program. And that's the reason why we said that, hey, this is time to actually shift from a hackathon model into a development and a learning model where actually we can work with students and take them on a journey and actually give them experience of some of the best-in-class technologies that we work with literally every day. Frankly, with hashtag GWC 2.0, results have been very, very encouraging. So GWC 2.0, as I'm talking about, opened up in 9 campuses across India. So 5,000 plus registrations, which again we are very proud of. 189 engineers, women engineers, took the immersive 4-month journey and worked with our mentors fairly closely. Got coached and learned about new technologies and developed their skills through a comprehensive learning program that really focused on the best-in-class technologies and their relevance to modern-day tech functioning in environments like ours. And we are really happy to report that that a good large number of GWC scholars today are placed in leading companies around the country, including Flipkart. We were absolutely thrilled with the response, and we are absolutely excited to take this further. And as we go along, I think we are continuing to iterate on the program and the journey to make it bigger, make it more meaningful, and really, make sure that all of you are able to benefit as much as possible from the experience that you get out of being a part of this journey and learning from our coaches as well. So thanks a lot for actually participating here. I think this is fantastic to see the crowd in front of us, and wish you all the luck in the subsequent months. Thank you very much. Prateek, over to you.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you walking us through the overall GWC journey. At this point of time, I would like to invite Isha, who is a part of Flipkart. Isha heads the user acquisition and retention group as the lead HR for that particular group. Isha, over to you to talk more about Girls Wanna Code 3.0 and what can one expect from the program.
Sure. Thank you so much, Prateek. Hello, everyone. Super excited and feeling a sense of honor and privilege to be able to talk to all of you. I am extremely happy that as a woman, Flipkart is providing this opportunity to each one of you. I'll try to tell you a little story which maybe will help you relate a little to where I am coming from and what makes me so happy and excited. As a kid, I have had to live in different parts of the country. My father was in the army, and I did my engineering from a small college in Bhubaneswar called ITR. I always had dreams to be in the leadership space, and as a girl in a small place, I never gave up the dream and never left any opportunity to expose myself to places which would help me build my experience. And I finally cracked an MBA in HR from XLRI. I come with a decade of experience now of working in different parts of the world. And as Prateek shared, currently I have the privilege to work with one of the best minds in the country as their HR partner. So I really believe that if each one of us see a dream and we explore these opportunities with dedication and never give up, we can get wherever we want to. And that's how I see GWC. It's a brilliant initiative. And also very happy to see when we asked all of you, what are you looking forward to from this edition of Girls Wanna Code? You said things like coding, skills, knowledge, which is exactly what we intend to provide you as a GWC scholar. So lots of things that I can share, but let me crystallize it to 5 sharp points that you can take away and expect if you get a chance to become a GWC scholar. So the first bit is learn to compete. You will get a chance to compete with one of the best minds in your peer group as a part of this initiative. The second one is exposure to the corporate world. So this is your chance to be and experience the inner workings of one of the largest tech homegrown powerhouses in this country, which is Flipkart. The third one would be access to a very immersive, personalized journey that has been specially crafted for you. The fourth one would be working with a dedicated mentor. As a part of this program, you would have a mentor who will be an experienced software developer from Flipkart who would work with you to learn and experience and finesse your coding skills. The last one would be becoming interview ready. So, as a part of this program, we would also help you get trained in cracking technical interviews and therefore prepare yourself for a real world interview scenario. So, those are my top five, which I thought are wonderful opportunities that you get as a part of GWC. Of course, this will also help you widen your horizons and give you an opportunity to be a part of Flipkart and other giant tech houses in the country. What I also want to share is we have also prepared for the new reality, which is COVID, and therefore this program will be completely at your fingertips. It's completely virtual, and which we have managed to do by working with some brilliant organizations who will help you experience this program on a platform, working with your mentors, and also practicing your coding skills. So, all in all, this is what you can expect from GWC, and really looking forward to seeing each one of you trying your hand in becoming a part of this wonderful initiative. Thank you, Prateek. That was from me.
Thanks, Isha. Thanks for sharing your thought about Girls Wanna Code 3.0 and what one can expect from this edition. Now, at this juncture of the entire event, I have someone who was a part of the Girls Wanna Code program in the last edition of Girls Wanna Code, which was GWC 2.0. And I'm glad and I'm excited to share that she's a part of Flipkart now as well. She's a software developer in one of the tech clusters at Flipkart now. So over to you, Rhea, to share your experience with respect to Girls Wanna Code.
Sure. Thank you, Prateek. First of all, I would say very warm welcome to all of you and a very happy new year to all of you as well. I really hope all of you are staying safe and all of you have a wonderful year ahead of this. I'm also glad to be a part of this session where I can interact with all of you and share some of my tidbits about this experience that I already have been a part of. So last year I was a part of the Girls Wanna Code program. I was a part of the IGTTUW University. So I was a part of the whole program for the entire duration. So I personally had like a wonderful experience, right? I got to learn a lot of things when I was a part of this program. I had like a wonderful opportunity to be able to interact with the Flipkart employees and see a mentor in them, right? And see guidance whenever I felt I did lack the motivation or I couldn't probably, work out some of the issues. So I personally feel this program helped me grow a lot, right? Not just from the perspective of learning, but as becoming a better engineer, right? Many a times I feel that whatever resources we do get outside of the whatever we resources we do get, right, they're not really curated or something. I feel Flipkart does here was to set you on a right direction, right, set a right path for all of you in order to be able to become better engineers, right, in order to be able to have better problem solving skills and focusing on the really core concepts that are important to all of us, right. That was, I think, one of the wonderful things about Flipkart here. In my time also, half of the program was about virtual. So I felt Flipkart did do a great job here in order to make sure that we had like a good experience, right? We were able to have regular sessions with our mentors. We were able to, interact with the mentors, take some guidance with them, seek again some resources if we would want to. I personally feel it was a great learning opportunity for me. It always motivated me to work hard, right? To walk that extra mile, because as women, we know that we sometimes we have to, talk about these things and, to walk that extra mile in order to become a better engineers and talk about these things. So definitely, I feel Flipkart did a great job there to come up with this whole opportunity, right? And I feel with each passing year, this program is growing a lot, right? More universities are enrolled in, more number of girls are able to be a part of this program and become a JWC scholar, right? I also wish all the best to all of you as well. May more and more of you each year become a part of this cohort, right? And get to experience this wonderful program that we have for all of you. Right. And yeah, I think that would be from my end. Thank you, Prateek.
Thanks, Riya. Thanks for sharing your perspective with respect to Girls Wanna Code 2.0 and what worked out, what didn't work out. And thanks for walking everyone uh, through the construct and what can one expect out of it. Now, at this point of time, with respect to the overall program, we are jumping to a more exciting section of the entire program, which is the quiz as well as your opportunity to win Flipkart EGVs. So, at this point of time, you might be looking at some of the points with respect to the quiz. We have 6 questions. We'll flash the question for 1 minute each. To access the question, you can approach it through two ways. Either you can scan the QR code, or you can look at the link in the comment section, and you can directly go to the link from there. And the basis of evaluating a winner for each question would be who is able to answer the question most accurately and the quickest. So, without further ado, let's jump to the first question. And just a quick heads up from our side, we'll only be presenting the question for 1 minute. So, let's hope many of you get an opportunity to answer the question properly. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so the first question is, what was the first product order placed on the Flipkart platform? I repeat the question. What was the first product order placed on the Flipkart platform? Okay, we'll show the question for the next 10 seconds and then we'll move on to the next question. I hope all of you have uh, just a heads up. Many of the people are answering the question on the chat window. Please do not do that. You need to log in to the question either by going through the link that has been shared on the chat window, or you can scan the QR code that you can see on the screen. Otherwise, you won't be considered for the top 3 participants who are able to answer the question, and you won't stand a chance to win Flipkart EGPs. Please log in and try to answer the question there. Okay. In the interest of time, let's move to the next question. Can you name the place in Bangalore where our journey began? Just scan the QR code to answer the question. Please, I repeat, please do not answer the question in the chat window. Please log in either through the QR code or through the link that has been provided to answer the question. Please add your email ID and quickly submit the answer that you have. Just to highlight again, the top 3 people who are able to answer the question correctly and in the shortest span of time eligible Flipkart EGVs. Many of you are still adding your comments in the comment section. Please do not do that. Please log in and try to answer the question there. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Now, this is a really interesting question, and I hope many of you are able to answer this. Who was Flipkart's first woman engineer? You will have 4 options for that, but many of you would have read a story about her journey at Flipkart on the Flipkart stories as well. So, yeah. Last 20 seconds, folks. We'll move on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. How many pin codes do we service at? You'll have four options again. Pick the option you feel is the closest option to the actual answer. Let's wait for another 30 seconds and then we'll move to the second last question of the entire quiz section. Okay, moving to the next section. What is the registered number customer base of Flipkart? Again, repeating, you can answer the question either by scanning the QR code, adding your email ID, and answering the question option you feel is the right answer, or you can go through the link that is being posted in the chat window and you can answer through there as well. Last 20 seconds, folks. I repeat the question. What is the registered customer base of Flipkart? Okay, last 10 seconds. Okay, moving on to the last question. And here is your chance to win your final EGVs. Let's move to the last question. Which of the following organization is not a part of Flipkart group? I repeat the question. Which of the following organization is not a part of the Flipkart group? Jeeves, Scapic, McMocha, Fitbit. For those of you who are not able to listen to the question properly, which of the following organization is not a part of the Flipkart group? Jeeves, Scapic, McMocha, and Fitbit. So you have to answer which one is not an acquisition of Flipkart group. Okay, another 30 seconds. Okay, so that brings an end to this particular section on quiz. Thanks a lot for participating in this section. And like I said, the top three participants for each questions who were able to answer the question correctly as well as they were able to answer the question in the shortest time span would be eligible for winning Flipkart EGVs. Thanks a lot for participating in this section. Now, in this point of time, this is the last section that we had planned for this event. And thanks for sharing your questions that you shared with us through our survey, so that we are able to answer the question that you had for us. Now, moving on to this section, I'll call out the question and I'll call out one of the panelists who will be able to answer, who is the best suited person to answer that particular question. So, starting with the first question, how will you take this forward after the event, the thought, and this initiative? Zan, can you help answer this question? Zan, sorry, you're on mute.
My bad. These are things which are now commonplace. But yeah, I think coming to the question, the Girls on a Code program, as many of you would have seen the link, the Dare to Compete page has the entire timeline. We'll quickly take you through what are the next steps, and then for reference, you can always come back to the website and refer back. So we start off with the registration. Registrations close on 5th of February. They start right after this event closes. You'll have a good number of days to go ahead and register. The contest is open this year to students from across branches, and for second year, third year, and fourth year UG students, as well as for first and second year postgraduate students from the 14 campuses that we have. Once the registration closes, 6th of February is when we'll have the online test. This online test is a machine coding round which happens, and to help you out, we will have a demo test link as well on the portal. So as soon as you do the registration, you'll be able to access the demo test. You can go through it, see how the environment looks like. And then on 6th of February, you will have a long enough window wherein you can log in at your time, which is a convenience to you, and then give the test. 90 minutes would be the overall duration, and you'll have 2 questions that you'll have to solve. Once that is done, then there will be shortlisting basis the performance, and then we'll form up the GWC cohorts, post which the module-wise learning will start. So that is a very crisp overview. And Pratik, anything else that you want to add on?
No, Zan, I think you have broadly covered everything in that particular section. Thanks a lot for answering that question. The next question that we have is for Kapil. What is the main aim to launch this kind of event?
Hey, thanks, Pratik. Look, as I mentioned in the portion that I was actually talking about, I think we are extremely focused on the fact that we believe that we've really sort of been able to create a fantastic tech powerhouse in India. Now with the position that we are in comes a great responsibility as well, and I think a part of that responsibility is to really make sure that we leverage all critical opportunities to ensure that we are able to do something for the ecosystem around us. As Ravi said, I think having the right level of diversity within our tech teams is a super important thing for us. I think we really are committed to that. And in that context, as we sort of looked at our hiring patterns over the years, and as we looked at candidates and how they were performing, we clearly found an opportunity to work with several women's engineering colleges and make sure that we are able to invest in talent, because I think we saw extremely strong, bright talent in some of these institutions, to make sure that we are able to just leverage some of our workforces, some of our talent, and see what we can do to really get talent to be way more job ready from a market perspective as we go along. So that's really how the initiative took birth. And as I mentioned, I think it started out small, and it started out with a little bit of that intent of saying that, hey, we might be able to hire some of you for Flipkart, and it very quickly transitioned into saying that, hey, while we possibly work on our own diversity challenge and work through being able to hire better, it's also absolutely fine for us to be able to impact the ecosystem positively. And it sort of morphed or transitioned into an initiative which really is a truly ecosystem initiative today. And I think Our objective here is to give you the best of experience, expose you to the finest of technologies. If you do want to join Flipkart after that, that's absolutely great. If you don't, then we believe that you are actually well equipped to go join some of the leading tech companies in the country, or for that matter, even work overseas over a period of time. So that's really the birth and the genesis of this. We want to do the right thing for the ecosystem, and want to continue growing this, and are very proud of being able to contribute to that space in whatever little way. So Pratik, that's a bit from me.
Thanks, Kapil. Thanks for answering that question. The next question is for Isha. How do you offer mentorship to newly developed developers? I mean, newly joined developers. Sorry, ma'am.
Sure. I think there is a lot of formal and informal mechanisms both in the ecosystem. I believe, if I'm getting the question right, it is about when we have people formally joining as employees and as new developers, how is it that we equip them for success? I think Flipkart has done that for years, right? So it's almost in our blood in training our junior or our freshers in this. In fact, I'm very pleasantly surprised when I speak to our experienced software developers. It just comes as second nature to them to mentor the new or inexperienced developers and make sure that they come up to speed. It is a part of the ways of our working that we also look at how well was somebody able to bring up to speed people who joined the company newly. So the way we also evaluate our leadership, the way we evaluate our talent, one of the ways we look at is how well did they mentor the new joinees. So it's a part of our DNA. It is something that we do both formally and informally, and rest assured, I think it's something that any new joiner can look forward to when they join Flipkart. I hope that helped answer your question.
Thanks, Isha. I think that answers the question. The next question is for Ravish. Could you put some light on the kind of projects that the company works on?
Absolutely, right. And I think there is a wide range of that, right? Depending on which part of the organization you are working on, right? I personally work on the consumer funnel, so I can talk a little, some exciting stuff happening there, right? And I was briefly touching about how Flipkart is, positioning itself to onboard the next 200 million users, right? So efforts around voice search, effort around vernacular content, some of those things are extremely important programs and projects for us, right? If you look at the platform side, right, we are looking at moving on to the latest technology with Kubernetes as the hardware choice, right? Which is a cutting edge technology when it comes to hardware and the right machine utilization, right? So there is a huge effort going on there. A lot of algorithmic problem statements today are being driven by our sciences team. To give you a gist of that, right? Like if you look at Flipkart and look at the front page, right? Every day, so much of content is getting created. Now imagine if we have to create those content, this different contents, personalized contents for each of our user base, right? And there is no way for us to do that manually. So projects like how do we create content automatically, right? Given a creative, given a tagline, how do we create? That's another very interesting initiative. So yeah, see, the way I will put it is that it's a complete commerce funnel. We have we have our own data center. So if you look at the plethora of various problem statement in the IT industry, the tech industry, right? Specifically in a core product tech industry, you'll find almost everything at Flipkart. Yeah. I hope that answers
Thanks,
and
Ravish.
gives a little. Yeah.
Thanks, Ravish. Thanks for answering that question. The next, I have a lot of comments in the YouTube section as well, and apart from that, in the questions that we have got from earlier as well. How do we prepare for the coding round? Is there a particular coding language that we need to stick with, is there some platform where we can go and prepare ourselves for the coding experience? We have Ria with us. Ria, can you help others sort of by sharing your personal strategy for taking the GWC screening questions? We'll be going live with our registrations on after this event itself. So, how did you approach your personal GWC screening test?
All right. I think I will answer that question in three steps. The first would be people or many girls would have that question that which language should be preferable for programming or which language would be preferable for learning. I would say there's no particular language that I would say you should specifically focus on. I think the language that you actually pick is just the syntax for expressing the solutions for the problem that has been given to you. So the particular language that you pick does not really make a great of difference here. Any language that you're comfortable with, C, C++, Java, Python, any of them works absolutely fine. Apart from that, what I would say, what you can expect as a part of the coding test here would be, it's not going to be something out of the box. It's not going to be something that you do not already know. It's just going to test you on your basic fundamental problem solving skills. So please make sure you do brush up on those concepts, right? As a part of your college curriculum only, we already have these things. So as a part of coding assessment, only very basic fundamental data structures and algorithms topics will be tested. So that is one thing of how you should be preparing and how you should structure your learning process. And the third question I believe would be here that how exactly and where exactly should you practice these questions. I would say again, there's no one platform that you can practice your questions here, right? You have multiple platforms available for free of cost. You can probably go to Lead Code and solve some questions here, right? You can probably solve questions by filter wise. So if you are practicing for a certain type of a question for like a particular topic, you can solve question based on that. But again, my advice here would be not to just solve all the questions out there. Just try to learn how exactly the problem solving aspects and the logic building aspect works, and then I think the questions and the solutions will just follow up after that. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Thanks, Rhea. Thanks for sharing that. The next question is for Zan. Zan, the question is, how long will the learning journey be? And while you're touching base on that one, many questions were with respect to one, what can one expect? What is the next step? So can you just brief everyone with respect to what is the journey going to be after this launch event?
So thanks, Pratik. I think good question because timelines are important, right? So once you're part of the GWC cohort, the overall journey duration will be approximately 4 months, and it will be divided into four broad modules. So module 1, 2, and 3 will focus on the technical aspects related to problem solving and data structures. You will be given a very detailed overview of what is in each module. You will have access, as Isha talked at the beginning, right? This year we'll have a platform for you where you can practice the concepts after your mentors have interacted with you, post which you would be able to see how you're performing compared to the peers as well. So a leaderboard kind of a thing would be there. And the last module would be more on your interviewing skills, because that was also feedback that we got. In total, overall 4 months, from starting from the time we start the cohort formation, which would be somewhere around the second to third week of February.
Thanks, Zan.
Hope that answers the question.
Sure. The next question is with respect to the overall registration process. Zan, do you want to talk about how is the registration going to be, and is there going to be some practice platform where they can go and practice before going for the actual evaluation?
Yes, Pratik, I think we touched that topic while we talked about the timelines. There will be a demo link, and we would strongly suggest that all the students who are registering go to the link and practice the sample question, because at times, you may be comfortable with your own compiler, which is there, the local compiler, but what's there on the platform, you can definitely go and test at any time, right from registration, that is after the session, till the end date, and you can practice it out. So that's there, Pratik. And platforms, I think Ria touched base upon that. There's no single platform where they can go and practice. It's an open field today. They have a lot of resources right from platforms like HackerRank, CodeChef, etc., where they'll be able to practice competitive coding. And I'm sure many of them are already doing that.
Sure. No, thanks for sharing that, Zan. I think one of the question or one of the themes which is emerging again and again, and I would like to call on couple to answer this question is with respect to how do we ensure that career development for women in this particular field is taken care of by Flipkart.
Cool. I can, I can probably try and answer that question in a couple of different ways. I think one is just to reflect on the kind of career hierarchy that we have at Flipkart. And the second is the supporting mechanisms that we really have in place that I believe enable growth and learning continuously. So from a hierarchy perspective and from just a job family perspective, I think it's an exciting place to be in. As Ravish again mentioned, that we are a 2,000 plus tech team today. There's engineering, there's product, there's design. Within engineering, I think pretty much any discipline that you can think of is present. As in, we are deep on engineering, operations engineering, data science, and so on and so forth. As in any area of computer science engineering that you touch. I think we are quite vibrant in that particular space from the standpoint of coverage and the kind of challenging jobs that we have. And we are also very open and encouraging about internal job moves and transfers and stuff like that. So I think once you're once you're in, potentially you can actually just think of meandering your way around different functional areas, different job families, and really growing with each and every experience, be it horizontal or vertical. So that's really one piece of it. I think the second important thing is, obviously making sure that our teams stay current with respect to the best-in-class technologies, and we continue to sort of invest in the journey of making sure that we are able to build the right leaders for tomorrow. Are both absolutely critical for us. So if you were to reflect on that, I think in your initial stages, you'll find pretty solid, very comprehensive boot camps that give you a good bird's eye view of all the technologies that we work with. And then as you move in your journey, we are working on fairly strong functional upskilling structures that actually help us that help you identify what track you want to take, and what's the in-person or online training structures that are actually available to support that journey as well. And once you're above a certain level, you obviously start getting exposed to stronger leadership training as well. This everything that I'm talking about does not account for the fact that I think once you're in the ecosystem, you'll find extremely strong mentors, very willing mentors and coaches in the frame of your seniors, who will actually be always eager to help you out and continue supporting you in your career journey, and help you take the tracks that you want to take. So yeah, that's a quick summary from my side, Pratik.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. The next question is for Isha. Isha, and I think you have broadly touched on this topic in your when you were sharing your thoughts as well. But again, just for answering that very crisply, what is it? Why should one be excited about Girls Wanna Code? I mean, what is it to take away from the entire program? And I think this one question has come up in multiple themes. So yeah, I think many people are interested in knowing the answer.
Right. Thanks for asking that question, Prateek, and whoever also raised the question. I think there are many answers to it, but if I had to just focus on the top takeaway, see, in all different parts of our lives, we will get to learn by reading from a book or going through a training program. But the one learning experience which most of us will always see sticking throughout is when we get to engage and experience something in real life. So when we get to apply the skills that we have learned through a book or through reading through a training program in a real life scenario, or by engaging with mentors or experienced professionals who then help us navigate this journey. And I think you get both the opportunities here, which is one, to apply your skills in a real life scenario, in a corporate world scenario, which is a lot of different variables in play, and also then to engage with people who have themselves gone through this experience and can thus help you navigate this better. As a student, if I take myself back years away, not to appear too old, but I can tell you that this is one of the experiences that I would have loved to have, which is to get an opportunity to work with professionals who have years of experience and who can help me navigate the corporate world even before I set foot on it. So yeah, that would be how I would summarize it, Pratik.
Thanks, Isha. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. The next question is for Ravish. And this question has come up in multiple themes from multiple people, Ravish. The question is, what is the fundamental idea behind Girls Wanna Code? What is it that we are trying to do or trying to
Sure.
achieve?
Sure. I'll be honest here, and I think Kapil touched base a little bit, right? See, there are two, three things. One is the Flipkart context, and that's where we started, right? Of course, we also got inspired by a lot of research papers, a lot of development in this field, to first of all get convinced that diversity is extremely important for a success of a company, right? And specifically for a, to me, product tech company, looking at a consumer base which is very diverse in nature, right? For us to succeed, having difference of opinions, very diverse set of opinions, ideas is extremely important. So it started with obviously a little bit of notion on how we can have increase the number of women employees at Flipkart, right? But I think no, somewhere in the journey, I think after the first edition, right, we believe that there is a larger cause and a larger impact which we can create, right? And it's our, and we took it as our responsibility, right, to up level women talent in India, right, and kind of contribute back to the larger ecosystem rather than just thinking about Flipkart. Of course, it doesn't mean that we'll not love you guys to come and work for us, but the emphasis is more around upleveling women talent in the STEM space and be able to coach them, mentor them, and get prepared for the industry. Yeah.
Thanks, Ravish. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. In the interest of time, since we have limited time, at this point of time, I would like to take the next two questions, and then Zan and I will jump into what is the next step going to be from here. So, just taking the last two questions, will I get a participation certificate? Zan, do you want to take that?
Sure, Pratik. So yes, people who complete the overall journey get a scholar certificate, and people who are part of the overall program and who clear the particular the the coding test and part of the cohort will also get a GWC certificate. So the learning is the key thing, is what I would like to re-emphasize. But I'm sure everybody wants to have their achievements highlighted on the resume, and we'll be giving you a nice certificate which you can download from the Dare to Compete portal as well.
Thanks, Zan. Thanks for sharing that. Zan, before you go off, I think there are a couple of questions with respect to the eligibility, and I think more with respect to the branch, the kind of what all years student are eligible. Would like to touch base on that as well?
Sure. And again, as I highlighted earlier, all this information would be available on the landing page as well. But for the interest of the audience, we'll repeat it and also highlight why we have done it, right? So being inclusive is again an integral part of the overall process, and we have made a conscious decision to keep the contest open to students from not just CS and IT, but from other streams as well. As long as you're good at coding and you can crack it, we are fine with it, right? And this is all a learning program. It's not a rat race kind of a thing, right? So we don't want to say that only XYZ people can apply. Obviously, there are always limitations in terms of how many people we can take in the actual cohort, because we want to maintain the quality aspect of the overall program. and have a detailed mentoring between the mentees and the mentors as well. So that is where you have a contest and you have a shortlisting done. But yeah, open to all branches for second, third, and fourth year for the UG students, BTech and BE. For MTech and ME students, eligibility is first and second year both. So students from across streams from these courses are eligible to apply. There is no CGPA criteria that we have kept. Even if you have backlogs or other breaks in your academic career that you may have had earlier due to whatsoever reason, those are not criteria that we will filter you out. It will be the online assessment which will happen post the registration, which will be the key filter to proceed to the next stage of the Girls Wanna Code program. But at application stage, there is no such eligibility criteria that will inhibit you. So second, third, fourth year for BE BTech and first and second year for ME and MTech, Pratik.
Thanks, Anne. We'll take the last question, which is essentially for couple. Is there any special outcome that you're looking out of that our team, the Goals Mono Code team, is looking at from the entire program?
I think just fantastic careers for all of you is what I will actually summarize in one statement. And with some of those being with Flipkart would be an absolute dream. But yeah, I think we would just wish you all the very best. Enjoy this, make the best use of it. And I hope this actually precipitates into fantastic careers for all of you is what I would say. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Kapil. In the interest of time, we won't be able to take all the questions, but I hope it answered most of the question. At this point of time, over to you, Zan. Do you want to cover something in the next 1 or 2 minutes before we close the discussion?
I think the key message that I would have for the audience is that just after the end of the program, the registration goes live. So the URL which has been shared with your training and placement cell, you can access that, or you can log into Dare to Compete and go to the Girls Wanna Code banner, which displays on the homepage itself. Click there and you can go and register. Registration process is fairly simple, but don't delay it till the last day. Okay, because we would not want you to miss out because on the last day you had a tech glitch, your system is not working, or there's a internet problem, right? So try to register as soon as possible. It is an individual event, there are no teams as such, so you have to go and get the registrations done yourself and ensure that you're registered. We will be connecting with your training and placement cells as well in case you're facing any challenges in registering or any other query. Since this is a limited time session that we're having, we will be open to having the queries channeled through your respective training and placement cells. And any issue, you can always also comment on the page which is on the Dare to Compete portal for Girls Wanna Code. You and the team will also respond there. But for any questions pertaining to the program per se, would prefer that you route your queries to your training and placement cell representative.
Thanks, Anne. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. In the interest of time, this is where we end the event. But thanks a lot for joining, everyone. And I think extreme gratitude to all the participants, professors, and our esteemed panelists for taking out their time for the launch event. We wish all the participants a very best for the upcoming screening test. If in case you have any questions, in case you have any queries, please route them to us either directly through an email, which your training and placement officers will share with you, or you can directly write to us as well. I wish you all the best for your upcoming test, which will happen on 6th of February 2021. Best of luck,
Yeah, all the
everyone.
best, everyone.